Okay. Um. Today I had to I guess make two videos. Like I said in my videos, one thing that's important that I'm doing is just for me to stay in tune with reality. I understand the amount of effort and what's happening to me. First of all, I start by saying thank you, God. I know that even though there's not much to be thankful for, what I need to be thankful for is the life that I didn't have the option to live. I'm not saying that if the option was given to me, I will do it or not do it. Thank God I don't even have to find out. But I've accepted the reality of what's happening to me. With my body being slowly destroyed, I understand that this is not coming from some random people doing that to me. I understand this is a governmental program, and Target Individual, please stay in tune with reality. I know that a lot of the things that's presented to you is try to disorient you and dismiss reality. Not even dismiss, but disorient you as a Target Individual. There's a lot of nobodies and participants that are just almost like a wall of retardation, I call. And I'm not just being insultive just for the sake of insulting, but they truly want you to think like a nonsensical individual, almost like a mentally challenged individual. And they put effort in doing that. And they also, for me, they have people who are designed for, not even designed, put there to be the voice of mental challenge, in the sense that they want to push you into a state of stupidity. And they can come in different shape and form. Sometimes they can sound like a grown adult man. Sometimes some childish low life that sound even more childlike. That purposely make herself as even somebody who's not an adult try to be more childish. Really to push you to a state of infantile. The others are wants to sound fierce. And for me, those are what you call perps and Target Individual. Perps are those people who partake. Those are the low life the government contract, or they are the low life that are the kind of foot soldier of this thing that's happening to you. They are nobodies. I'm telling you, they will let you kill them and just let you go ahead with it. Now, I think in some circumstances, this is like what they would like the Target Individual to do. They're really insignificant, as much as significant as they try to make themselves be. I've accepted that all this noise campaign, all these clowns, they are just nothings. Matter of fact, they're being praised to be this low life, this nothingness, and so they can become even more bold because of the praises. It's like some of them are not even adults. So you excite some loser like that to do things like that, they're gonna try to be bold, or be bold in their fashion. But what they're doing is they're exciting and praising somebody who don't understand the consequences of what will happen. Matter of fact, they purposely disconnect themselves just to maintain that boldness. But the thing is, like, they expect the Target Individual to maintain this tolerance. Like, this program is not designed to push somebody into insanity, into anger, into rage. So I think they send these people like almost like crash dummies in a sense. To do something to annoy, agitate, to push somebody into insanity that have nothing to live for and is dying. And expect nothing to happen to them. It's like they expect the Target Individual to maintain being reasonable, while everybody around you are becoming mentally retards, just to gaslight you. And not just because, I'm not saying that they are smart people who, by purpose, in some cases, dumb themselves down for just the opportunism they're part of. And they really expect you to let them live their fantasy. Some of them are so disconnected because they're far from what will happen if something goes left. They're not the one who putting their life at risk. So they praise this loser, keep exciting them to push their luck. And for me, I don't want to be that person. But let's just be honest, my tolerance has completely disappeared. I will not restrain myself if some of these low-life perps expect me to be reasonable when they do these things, no matter what they are. I don't have it in me to restrain myself if they do these things. And I don't want to anymore. These perps have these ways of gaslighting you. It's like you are being forced to think in such a nonsensical way. In my last video, you can hear what I was saying. One of the example they just try to use. Listen, the rage that is put in you is surreal. For me, it goes even further because they tell me they have this childlike trash that you detest already, despite. Hatred is not even the word anymore. But you know they're nothing. They do these things with this most entitlement, with tantrum, and even been praised to do that. You detest them in a level that's just not even, I couldn't even believe I could detest somebody. But I know they're nothing. Most of them are not even adults in this low life around here. They tell me how they're going to frame me and this and that. Can you imagine? First of all, with the level of foulness, if somebody tells you we're going to frame you, I'm going to make it look like you raped me. The rage that you will have will be surreal. Now imagine this person being not even an adult and sound like a tantrum, like childlike individual. And on top of that, everybody around try to like push this thing. I'm like, you push, you make this low life come near me. Method act this thing they're framing me. That's fictional. You're putting these people at risk. Especially now. I warn them because I don't want to be that person. And I will easily do whatever I need to do if this thing happens in front of me. It will not even be a problem. So to those who think that I'm going to maintain my being reasonable when it's... Please, I advise you to don't attempt this thing because it's going to go left. For whoever praising you to do this thing, they're not the one who put themselves at risk. For the soul, all who've suffered and died in this program, who've been tortured and tormented, inclusive of women and children, I will not allow you to live your fantasy. Let these entitled fuckers push you to that point. I promise you, for Deborah, for Berta and her children, I promise, for all those defenseless women, for all these children, I promise you, I have to do something. It's not even a question. It's not even a doubt that I have to. I'm forcing myself to have to do something. If it goes there, it's not about me. I will not allow this clown to think life is like that. Unfortunately, that's not something I wanted to do. I asked God. I've asked God to please give me the strength that this don't go that way. But if this low life come this way, in this fashion, at this point, with this level of validation, with this level of horror, now everything that could be said for me to do that is now there. So the rest is for those who have a choice. And I hope they choose right. But if they come near me, I'll do what I have to do. That's like eventually, I'm not preaching violence. I'm not preaching anybody to be aggressive. But some people have options in life. They choose that option. They chose an option that they knew was going to go there. And obviously, I do not want that option to be chosen. Even I detest them. I just don't want to have that trashiness on me. But if that option is what they choose, I will oblige. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I understand that we're talking about these terrible things that they do. And they thought they could just normalize these things. You know, and these people have really no, well, the perps that hype them up, they have no fear. It's not them who gonna be in this situation. But these perps really think they have been able to Jedi mind trick me to a state of retardation. You know, I understand the tactics. For me, I fully understand that there's all kind of gaslighter, and they have the different tactics of gaslighting. From the childish-like individual who just want you to be like fully childish, and then there's some co-workers who they want to show how reasonable they are, but they're not really reasonable, and you record them in the act of what they're saying, and it's like, oh gosh, you're disgusting. You're actually worse than those childish people, because people like you can be the people who are the easiest to normalize this foulness, when in reality you're an opportunist in the nth degree, who is really truly an opportunist, who is a hypocrite on a level that's disgusting. And you strategize on how you're going to paint yourself in a certain way to cover up the reality of what you're part of. And I will confront you the right way. You know, I made a video not too long ago. There's a coworker. She really was thirsty to show her child, and she tried again today. But this time I was like, okay, I didn't know that this person's child was, you know, mobile. But now I know. So as soon as I looked away, and I was like, oh yeah, now this, you know, and I made a comment to let her know, it's like, you know, the nasty things you forced me to experience. Guess what? You failed. I will never internalize how you make me have these experiences. I know that's what you guys do. You do that to women and children. You do that to women toward their children. You will never make somebody internalize this. As I was making this video, it was stimulating me. And, you know, if I could tell you what industry I'm working in, you understand why people can just easily compromise themselves in that way. Let's just say that this historical unfortunate things that have happened in this industry, not to say that that's what they're in, but let's just say that there's perhaps more to gain from them participating. But with that being said, they did this like gaslighting that was so stupid. And that also indicates how my brain has gone. Now this perps, I don't expect them to do anything. They will be the ultimate retard. They don't care. You know how many door slamming has happened? For me, every time in a lot of talking videos, slamming doors is supposed to scare you, intimidate you, gaslight you, make you internalize the stupidity, the manipulations, and everything they make you experience. I mean, poor doors. These doors are being slammed for no reason, because I'm not even. It's not even. It's not even phasing me anymore. It's like just noise for noise. If anything, they should come and knock on my door loudly. That's, you know, I welcome that. But these doors are getting slammed for no reason. Meaning that they were supposed to gaslight me. I was supposed to be, oh, I'm intimidating, I'm scared. They slammed the door so loud. I guess it's not them manipulating me. And so they will try to create this mental battle. Listen, they make me have all the reason why the target individual lose their mind, because for a lot of target individual dealing with V2K synthetic telepathy, that can be so disgusting. It pushes people into insanity and anger and rage. They have the most disturbing thoughts implanted into your brain, and they always try to get you to internalize like they're not manipulating you, to have disgusting imagination, thought manipulation. People have caused mass shooting to the point where they wrote manifestos saying, listen, I'm being manipulated this way. I can't tolerate. They can not only manipulate me, they do this, but they can also create thoughts in your brain. And you know, I've tolerated as much as I can. Now I gotta crash out. Describing thought manipulation being a reason why they're doing what they're gonna do, and ended up killing 4 people. I'm talking about Steve Marlowe. Literally, not only planning, pre-recording a video, saying I'm about to execute who he believed participate in this. And guess who he ended up killing? Neighbors. 15-year-old girl in her own kitchen. This guy is not a killer. You can see that he got to the point where he could kill. Not only kill, but in a cold-blooded way. With no emotion. It's like as if he went and just killed some object. And that's because he got to the point where that is where he got. Now, he's not the only one. There's Aaron Alexis, who literally wrote on his own weapon that he this and that, and they found some documentation saying the reason why I'm doing this is because, you know, I'm being manipulated. I'm being influenced in this way. And to end the torment, I'm doing this to end my life and taking other people's life. So with me, what's happening is they're making me imagine initially, like what will happen if one of these teenage trash will come near me and play this game. Now, let me just be honest. If these trash were playing the game that they play, which is like coming with this anger and rage, like, oh, at this point, things will go left. Let's just say that. And so as they make me imagine that, as they play my imagination, my imagining just going to the left, like taking things to the left side, like, let's just say doing something bad, according to what they're doing to me. And I'm talking about a reaction that is crash out level. Now, because of the rage, because I'm the anger, that's where it would go. Matter of fact, to be honest, I'm preparing myself that if something like that happens, I will go that route. Now, I'm not somebody who can do that. I'm not an aggressive person. I'm not a violent person. And matter of fact, the people who participate in that, they're even the hardest to want to do that, because they are just some nobody. I don't even want to humanize them, but let's just say some of them are not even adults. Some of them are just mothers, grandmothers, try to play, thinking that their way they present. So it's harder to even have rage for these kind of people. This is some real nothing. I can detest them, but having that rage, they're not even fully... They're not even fully there mentally. It's not even... It's like some thing that's not fully like mentally developed. It shouldn't... But they're purposely using this trash. And this trash are excited about being praised for what they're doing. They're being molded in this nastiness. And they're becoming entitled. And they have tantrums. And expect nothing to happen to them. So that tolerance has gone away. So now, I'm like, I'll prepare myself. If this is the trash that you send my way to try to gaslight me, and they act this way with the tantrum, with the amount of sufferings and tortures that are here every day, and this trash take pride of calling themselves negators, negating the tortures. What they say is, because for me, they want me to see them as these avengers, justice seekers, and all this facade that they love to portray Target Mitchell, to make the Target Mitchell believe that's what they are, when in reality, they're follow life. And so what doesn't work for them is when I'm listening to what women and children are going through, saying that they're targeting individual and being tortured in the same way I'm being tortured, even in worse fashion, because some of them are mothers watching their children suffer. This slow life feel like it's their responsibility to negate that, to maintain the facade that there are some justice seekers. And they have tantrum. Not tantrum because I'm listening to how they're suffering, children are suffering. Not because they have tantrum because they're hearing children suffer. No, the tantrum is because I'm hearing what they're part of. And they get enraged that the facade cannot be presented, cannot be maintained. So their rage is because I'm listening to the mean things they do to children and what they're doing. So they have this tantrum, anger, dare you listen to what children are going through, making us look bad. And they have tantrum. And I'm supposed to let that happen? Because they're not trash. The sufferings of these children. You think I'm going to let you grow up thinking this is something that you need to negate? To come near me doing this? So then what? So they make me visualize this thing, which I can... The visualization is like, okay, that will happen. They make me think of what, and then I immediately like, it'll be bad. I don't even want to describe it here. And so even though they're the one triggering me to think, what if this, I was like, it'll be bad. Now, obviously I know they're the one driving these thoughts. But with that being said, I accept this thought, even though it's them manipulating me, because the rage I have will make me do that. Matter of fact, I want me to be strong enough, not even strong enough, to prepare myself to go that way if this goes this way. Now, I know they're influencing me to think that way, but I'm welcoming this level of just visualization, because if this trash do that, they need to understand this is what we'll think, that's where things will go. And I need to prep myself. I'm not saying that just for saying that. Now, It's no, I'm not saying that to scare them, but it's on them. They have the options. I am preparing myself, and they're doing this visualization that I'm going with, because that's where I want to go if things go that way. On top of that, by the way, they like, yeah, we're dating. They act like it's like Jesus. Keep feeding the monster. So they were trying to gaslight me. It's like, oh, so if you can accept this visualization, then they bring up the disgusting things that torment me, that disturb me. The reason why I'm at that point of no tolerance. This trash which been trying to gaslight me with them nasty manipulation in my mind. They're like, okay, so they were making me think of this coworker, and yes, they were trying to make me imagine some disgusting thing with a child. Like, you see, what if, then that's why I'm ready to do what I'm, did this thing. The thing that you're making me visualize that I'm willing to go there is because of this and other things. This is what makes me enraged for what you guys are doing to me, but on top of that, what you guys are capable of doing to children younger than her. And they try to even gaslight me. Bring up the reason why I'm to that point is because of these disgusting things. And then try to gaslight me and be like, no, we proved they were little girls, when these trash are forcing people to have these experiences in a program where they torture little girls. And try to use, if you can accept this visualization of doing these things consisting of crashing out, then these tormenting experiences that will make you experience these imaginations and thought, then this should be accepted too. When that's how stupid they want me to think. Like, it's the thing that's pushing you to want to crash out should be accepted if you now can think about crashing out. That's the stupidity that I'm now forced to internalize. The same thing that's pushing me to think about crash or accept thoughts of crashing out are the same thing that's now they're saying this, you should accept that. This imagination, these thoughts, these experiences, this are the same reason why I'm being pushed to wanting to crash out. And now they're saying, if you can think about crashing out, if you can accept this thought of crashing out, then those things that push you to think that way should be accepted too. If you can accept this visualization of how you could crash out, then you should accept these imaginations. When they make me imagine these disgusting things. One thing they were trying to make me think is like when they were trying to make me think, oh, opportunities, if this will happen, try to make me think, because bringing up what I did as a child and try to be like, oh, but, they've been trying to exaggerate that, but saying, if you have like more opportunities, you'll do more, and then try to make me imagine what will happen, and then make me imagine, and I'm like, no. And make me imagine doing, I'm like, okay, the people who are known to be manipulating the thoughts in every degrading ways will make me think, no, it's not gonna, yes, it's gonna go the way you want it, because you can make me imagine that. And that's the nasty thoughts that are being forced onto me that push me to be accepting of crashing out and imagining crashing out. Because it's true, I would crash out if this trash come and gaslight me. You think at this point I can maintain being a reasonable person to people who do these nasty things, who tormented me psychologically in these degrading ways for years? And I'm going to be like, oh no, I will not crash out. I will lose it. I will crash the F up if some of this trash come and gaslight me. It is a must. What kind of man would I be? Oh no, don't do that. What? It will be done. Why? Because you've been disturbing me with this disgusting manipulation of my thoughts, imagination, and then on top of that, you've been presenting yourself a protector of children and taking pride in negating the horrible things you do to children while telling me you're doing it for little girls. Trash. And I don't care how immature, underdeveloped, mentally this low life are part. They've been exploited, they're being groomed, they're being trained. And I'm going, what do you think they're going to be when growing up? I'm going to allow this. That's not fair then. But they have the option. I'm not Steve Marlowe. I'm not that man. I don't want to be that man. But this man, he did beyond just visualizing it. He planned it. He prepared for it. He recorded videos before it. And murdered 4 people. Because he couldn't tolerate anymore of this nasty manipulation and the torment that's being manipulated. The tortures, psychological torture, were too much for him to deal with, and he ended up crashing out. That's the result of the torments. So me, having the now acceptance of imagining the crashing out is just the obvious results of constant torment, psychological, mental, that disturbs me day in and day out. But on top of that, they've been agitating me. There's tormenting me, and then agitating me, and try to make me internalize something that I will never, and I put that in their faces. And the more I put that in their faces, like, I know that these disgusting things you force even women to have, to experience toward children. I'm not even saying just women as in just because they're gender. I'm saying women are being forced to get sexual arousals toward their own children. Women are forced to get disgusting thoughts in their brain. You think some tantrum, low-life clown that just slam doors every once in a while yell in this fake emotional way? Because she's being praised? And this is obviously a governmental program. I know these clowns are nothing. I'm being gaslighted in every fashion by this clown, and it's just becoming worse and worse. Now, I understand this gaslighting. I'm not subscribing to it. Like, for example, my coworkers, listen, they're making it even hard for me to function. I'm scared to watch a whole presentation because I'm scared there's going to be image of children. It's like, I can't even look at I'm like, what's next slide? Is there going to be a child in it? Because if I see a child, what they're going to do, they're going to disturb me. They're going to have me have experiences. They're going to make me have thoughts. They're going to have whatever they want me to have, whatever mixture of torment. They have all this palette of tortures. They can make you have sexual stimulation. They can have you have some thoughts. They can make you have, it's like they have a palette of torments. A palette like a painting. It's like, oh, let's put stimulation with some thoughts. That's degrading imagination. Let's mix all 3 combined. Let's have some stimulation that we can play with, concoct, make it feel like, oh, you felt like that when you were a kid. It's like a palette of different tortures that they can make you experience whenever they want. Especially when you see children, they're going. Then they have the clowns, this wall of pure retardation that are supposed to gaslight you to internalize this manipulation, but expect you to not crash out. I will never let this low life. The only reason why I'm at this point is because I can no longer tolerate. And I understand what I mean. I understand what it means. It needs to be done if this thing gets to that point. Of course, I'm not going to go and try to kill this trash. That's not what I'm preaching. That's not what I want. But I'm saying, if these people behave a certain way in front of me, and behave in a way that they expect me to not react, I will react the way it needs to be reacted. And there's been a time when this will not happen. But those days are gone. I'm no longer as tolerant. No matter who does it. So this is me releasing a little bit of that, saying that out loud, and understanding that I'm not preaching targeting individuals to be aggressive or violent. Stay strong, maintain composure. But understand that a lot of these perfs expect you to be this strong, reasonable person, while these people can do all kind of foulness and expect you to tolerate all of it. I've refused to even think that this is normal. So I can just stay strong.